and we are the first podcast of Live Excellent. My name is Matt Truppo, and what am I going to be talking about? Well, I'm going to talk about coaching. Coaching what? Mind, body, spirit. We're going to talk sports. We're going to talk faith. We're going to talk about all the stuff that you can watch on Reels, on your Instagram and Facebook and TikTok that are informative, that you learn stuff, and what stuff is just a waste of time. But this is a longer platform of what I do on a daily basis, Instagram, where I encourage and challenge people to live excellent. And using my experience, using others' experiences, things that I've observed, things that I've learned from life, how to live excellent regardless of your circumstances and situations. So talk a lot about that. I'm going to have some people on. They're going to talk about their life experiences, because the whole thing about challenging and encouraging you and others is by being real, by talking about doing hard things, talking about consequences and experiences that we've had, and really just to when you get a chance to talk to people on a daily basis and their story and listen, enables for me as a coach to think of questions to ask them that will stimulate, that will challenge, that will get them to think, get them to have an idea of what they can do, where they are with what they have, and to dig and uncover and discover truly what you have. That is my purpose each and every day, and all the platforms of coaching, of speaking life into other people, is to help them see what they don't see, what's hidden in plain view. And a lot of times it's because we're just on cruise control. A lot of times we just say, it is what it is, therefore I can't change. And that's not true. It is what we allow it to be. A lot of times we allow it to be because we don't know different. And so I'll talk about a lot of the different aspects of being you and what it looks like in this world. And you know, I've had just like anyone else, I've been in the valley, I've been at the mountaintop, so to speak, in different areas of my life, and to discuss with other people how they came about, because every day, not how they came about, but how they dealt with their own circumstance situations. It's how do you go forward to make sure that each day you're grateful for, each day that when you do have struggles, when you do have unexpected things, that you don't miss the opportunity to step forward, encourage, be brave, to do and be excellent, and what that looks like. So that's what this platform is, to help you live excellent, help encourage you, to help you uncover, discover, to challenge you and encourage you. I have some individuals that I've talked about being on this podcast who've had some bad struggle. We all have some type of struggles. You know, I have. I played sports throughout my life, through college, playing football. Afterwards, getting into sales, struggling, but also then doing really well in my company, and then taking a risk to leave the area I was at to go to start to take over a little business sight unseen, growing that business, striving that business, but also with the recession of 2010, seeing that business just nosedive and lose it and struggle from there, and then build a staff with Fellowship of Christian Athletes as area director, and then coaching athletes and coaches through the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and then do corporate coaching and individual coaching through John Maxwell certified coach and speaker that I was led to do. And so that's a platform. The platform I have every day when I walk out doors, to love, serve, and contribute where I am, who I come in contact with, who I do life with, and it's just preparing myself before I walk out the door, have that mindset, have that thermostat set. And so that's what we're going to talk a lot of different stuff here. I use a lot of movies. I love movies. I love to see in movies things that I can take to be examples of different things I'm trying to, lack of a better word, things that I want to communicate, I want to convey to others, to help them think about what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how to help them better operate in life. And so I use movies, sports, athletics, of course, and because that's been such a huge part of my life, athletics. But faith, talk a lot about how I was very cynical and skeptical when I got in college. Imagine that, and just God meeting me and just. But at the same time, learning to be respectful of others, listen to others, offer what I have to offer when asked. And so this long platform that we call podcasts, and that I'm hopping on. So when I talk about the ups and downs of life and living, I remember when I got a degree in accounting, and because my mom said I was pretty good at math, you got to pick a major. I went to college because that's what you did after high school. Went to college, small school, played football, had a blast, had so much fun. Gosh, the grace of God, and I say that not so much comically, because I know people that guys that I know that I played with that have lost their lives due to consequences of bad decisions, have been permanently hurt mentally, as well as some who have had to get a teammate of mine had to get his leg amputated. So there's other sports I know that guys have lost their lives while I was in college. So I do truly, by the grace of God, did some really stupid things, as a lot of people do, right? A lot of people do stupid things. I'm a huge Georgia Bulldog fan. No, that's not where I played. But people ask me all the time, how are you a Georgia Bulldog fan, when they find out I grew up in New Jersey? Well, my sister, who's 5 years older than me, somehow when she graduated high school, she went to Georgia. And she went to Georgia when Herschel Walker was there. And if anyone's that old, in the early 80s, I was like in middle school. And Herschel was college. He was huge. They won the national championship his freshman year. He was third Heisman there, second his junior year, his sophomore year, and then he won his junior year. And that junior year was my sister's freshman year. She left after her sophomore year. So her beginning of sophomore year, we went to Georgia to a game, and it was actually the first game of Herschel Walker, because he went to USFL. And I pretty much cried when I found that out, because I knew I was going to be going to the game. But I went. They beat UCLA. They beat Rick Neuheisel, was quarterback in UCLA. If you know him, broadcaster. And I was hooked. I was between the hedges at Georgia, and I became a bigger fan of my sister after she left. She went to Rutgers, closer to home, for the last couple of years, and I've been a huge Georgia fan. Hadn't gone to another game until last year. My buddy Matt Erickson, who went to Alabama, lives in Alabama. I drove down there, and great game. Alabama did win. Georgia was down 20-0 after the first quarter. Was crazy, but they came back. And so, with that being said, that's how I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. I'm a New York Rangers fan. I am a New York Giants fan, New York Yankees fan, and Villanova Wildcats basketball. That's another story that I could talk about, because I was also a Sixer fan growing up. We had a Philadelphia station, so we would get all the Villanova and Sixer games. So I was a huge Julius Erving fan. 1983 when they won the NBA championship, finally beating the Lakers when Sixers got Moses Malone, made the difference to the world. And so all these things, talk a lot about sports, but the impact sports has on my life has enabled me to coach, speak life into athletes, to help them navigate athletics at this time. Is crazy. I work with Division I college athletes, as well as high school football and basketball teams. And it's not about, I want them to be the best them, mind, body, spirit. They're interdependent on one another, and you can't neglect one. And so much kids and coaches and the mindset that we have to be the best of that sport, but we have to be prepared mentally and spiritually to play that sport, because talent meets talent, And what are you going to do when that happens? What is going to be your edge? How are you going to keep that focus when it's pressure and tough? And it's got to be mental strength. I tell athletes all the time, you will perform to the level that you've conditioned your mind to believe it can. And going on with coaching, when I coach individuals, corporate, mostly that personal development precedes all other development. So what I say is I certainly can't tell you not an expert on insurance or any other field, right? But I can help and coach you to be a better you. So because you go wherever, you take you wherever you go. And it's important to understand that personal development precedes that development, that what you want to accomplish at work or in any other field. It is investing in you. It is growing you. It is strengthening you, your mindset. And so I coach on all the different aspects: faith, mind, physical, the three. They're interdependent of one another. And so you hear a lot about it on podcasts. Again, a lot of the techniques I use and stuff. I also on Instagram and LinkedIn, as well as Facebook, have a YouTube channel. I Live Excellent. This might be on YouTube. We'll see when it gets going. But that's what this podcast is. And I don't know how it's going to go. I do know that I share a lot because I've had a lot of input. I want to output. I want to coach people, to help people, to assist people, to encourage, to challenge individuals. And but I like to tell stories also, and I use a lot of stories when I speak. And this platform gives me more time to do that than a 2.5 minute reel, which people don't want to watch 2.5 minutes. That's the limit, right? I think so. I have 3 books out as well, and so here's just continually just have an opportunity to speak life, to use this platform to do just that, to help people in their lives. And so that's what, there's going to be a lot that I bring forward. I don't know how it's going to be, how the structure is going to be, but it is to this: live excellent. And I just started thinking of a lot of stories that I want to share, but in time I will. So come back if you want to be encouraged, you want to be challenged, you want insight, you want. I try. My goal is to have you have a paradigm shift. Paradigms, your accepted belief of how you see yourself, how you see others, how you believe you're going to operate in certain areas of your life, you're going to react in certain areas of life. And my challenge is to help shift that reaction to responding from a healthier, more confident foundation place. And that is personal development. And that is my goal, to serve you, to contribute in ways that will help you think, to help you really just get a better idea of how you can invest in you, how you can learn more about yourself, so that you can take more of you where you go. And with that, you'll be more consistent, and consistency brings confidence. And so this is Live Excellent. And I'm Matt Truppel, and this is episode number 1, introductory. Hope to see you again.